through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From Lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in a roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Good evening. And let me start with a story about a team that lifted a trophy in Bilbao, a night we'll never forget, the night we lifted our third Europa League, our third UEFA Cup champions. Players celebrating, fans celebrating. We had the parade. Rain was at the parade. Dave Harris was there. I was broadcasting it live here from THFC Towers. Should have went, and I wish I did went now, because I may not never go to another one again. But months on, what have I told you? What have I told you? That Tottenham Hotspur, one of the so-called Big Six, are staring down the barrel of a relegation from the Premier League. Yeah, let that sink in. This is a club with £1 billion home in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Champions League nights, global fan base, history, pride. That means absolute jack all to these owners and these players. But none of that means anything if you can't win football matches. You can strip away the £1 million players. You can strip away the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. All that is important. You pick up the 3 points 38 times, home and away, every season. And at the moment, if the worst happens, and it could do, there's a lot of fans still in denial that we won't go down. And we probably won't go down. We will find 3 wins somewhere. But 49 years ago, we did go down. We had a brilliant start to the 76-77 season, but we went down that year to the second division. So if the worst happens, if Spurs actually drop into the EFL Championship, look forward to Millwall, Stoke, Wrexham. No VAR. I think we'll be all glad of that. But can they survive it? Do the stars of today have the bottle like the stars of the past? Does the manager last? Well, we know he's going, but who comes in? Does Pochettino come in to us in the Championship? Does the ownership crumble under the pressure? Do they sell up? What do? They've frozen season tickets for next season. They're going to have to drop them season tickets. Nobody's going to pay that amount of money to go and watch a team play in the Championship. Or does it become the reset the club never knew it needed? I don't think getting relegated is the reset this club needs. And I still don't think it is. And anyone that wants us relegated needs to give the head a wobble. So tonight, we're asking questions nobody thought we would ever have to ask, and nobody thought we would ask. Can Tottenham survive the drop? Can Tottenham Hotspur stay up? Can we do what we did on the Rosie RD list, go into an Oldham, the second last game of the season, and getting the win there? Can we beat a Wimbledon when Jurgen Klinsmann scored 4 goals in a 6-2 win to keep us up that season? Or will we repeat what happened on the Keith Birkinshaw and Tottenham get relegated when 2 fans came onto the pitch with a sign, "We will return"? We'll find out in May, won't we? But after North London heartbreak, he seems closer than it ever was. Good evening, guys. Welcome to the show. Tequila, look, North London derby. I don't really want to talk about it too much because I think, look, it's done, it's dusty. We have to move forward. We've got bigger games ahead now, Fulham and that. But good evening. How are you?
Okay. Fine.
You know, I think some of these things have to be said, don't they?
I want to quickly talk to you, Dermo, because not going to put you on the spot, but I just want to get your reaction. Maybe you've already given it, but maybe not. When we did our pre-match show, I was the only one on the panel to say 3-0 to Arsenal. Everyone else, even the Arsenal fan, didn't agree with me. It was even worse than that because we'd be let in 4. But generally, it was a free goal deficit, no matter what. And I remember saying to you, how would you feel about the manager if Arsenal beat us 3-0? So I'm going to ask you now that they have trounced us by a 3-goal deficit. How do you feel about the manager?
It is what it is. I said it yesterday. I said it on the after the whistle. It is what it is. We can't change anything. That was down. That it was down on the players. That they're the ones that you could see the manager was telling them to Igor was telling Mickey van der Ven and the defenders to keep the press up. Do you know? He could see him on the touchline, literally doing it, and players ignoring him. Well, if you've got players that are ignoring a manager, you could have Houdini in there, and I don't think they would actually take a blind bit notice of him.
Yeah, don't you think there's a reason why they might be ignoring him, though?
I think some of these players are arrogant. I think they think they're better than what they are. I think I do feel that they have to share the responsibility for where we are. You can blame managers all you want. You can blame a manager, and yes, we did get frustrated with Thomas Frank, and rightly so. There was people say they wanted him out now, like me. There's people like Rain and probably yourself, Tequila, keep him in there until the end of the season. I think
you might as well have. I mean, was there any difference really yesterday?
I saw a little bit more fight out the players yesterday. And the first sort of, I think, to the second goal went in, they were trying to. When that second goal went in, I think all the belief went out of them then. And when Arsenal took the lead and we equalised after 123 seconds, I think that showed we wouldn't have got that under Thomas Frank. Our heads would have dropped straight away, and there was that fight back.
If these players don't respect Thomas Frank, which is pretty obvious they didn't, we saw that early on when we saw the reaction from Jed Spence and Van der Ven. We all remember it. Right then should have been all the warning signs we ever needed. Why are they going to respect Tudor, who, in my opinion, has probably done less than even Thomas Frank has in his career as a manager? Why are they going to respect him more than they would Thomas Frank? Oh.
So I'll give my take on it.
Okay.
Which is actually going to stem from the post-match presser that Tudor gave. Really good words that he said, about them having bad habits, about their work needing to be done. And he looks like he's got he certainly looks like he's not a shirker. It certainly looks like he's going to get stuck in. But I've got to say, Tequila, I watched that presser and I thought, you have not done an iota of research about this club. You have not. You've come in here and you think, and you've got a lot of self-belief, which I guess every manager has to have.
By all means.
But you have not actually, done your due diligence on why Spurs are where they are and what the situation is. Because a lot of what he was saying, I heard under Conte, right? So,
yep.
And that was what 4 years ago now. The type of things that he was talking about. So, not pushing up, dropping back. I've seen people on streams today, saying various things about it, and nobody's been saying we had this under Frank, we had this under we had this under Frank, we had this under Ange. Yeah, they revolted under Ange and they refused to do what they what he wanted them to do, for better or worse. I used to see Conte on the pitch line going absolutely mental.
Realistic, yeah.
Absolutely. Do you remember Conte, Cam? Going absolutely mental at them, and largely different players, I might add, but still going mental at our players. There is a culture in our dressing room of I don't know, of refusal to sort of accept what a coach is saying. I don't know.
Just a lack of respect all over, I think. Yeah. And you're right. It's not even the same group of players. I mean, some of them are the same, but the large majority of them are not. So it's a culture thing. And I don't know how you break that. That's just still a thing. I don't know how you generally break that. I don't think there's a magic man. And as much as I do want Pochettino, I do struggle to even think if he's going to come in, is he going to be able to install it again with these group of players? I'm not convinced. No. But then where do you go?
I think, to be honest, Tequila, I think it can only be Pochettino. It can only be Pochettino who's got the gravitas with and at the club, and has the personal connection with the club that means that they might actually be bonkers enough to take the job.
Get relegated, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I don't think he's coming if we get relegated, mate. He's the only one who's got a chance of being up to it, but it doesn't matter what coach we've got until we start getting proper players. We need to start getting proper players. We need to, I haven't had my say really on yesterday to a great degree. Spence. I think Tudor was. I personally think it was the wrong game for Tudor to come in too.
They only did it, Rain, obviously, because they wanted to give him the 10 days.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. That's the only answer I've got for you. They thought that giving him the 10 days would.
Yeah, because it was Dermot. Do you remember our predicted lineup, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was at pains to tell you that he doesn't want 3. He doesn't want 5 at the back.
He wants 3 at the back.
3 at the back.
Yeah.
And wing backs. I was so, and you kept on saying 5, and you know what? You were right, because at the end of the day, with Spence. Spence doesn't get forward, so he's a fullback. He's not a wing back. It might be a wing back on the right hand side. We haven't really seen it. Yeah, Dermot absolutely sort of spitting truths. And Archie Gray, you know, I will address this. Moderately competent as he is, yeah, in his little bubble, he doesn't get forwards. He's not a rampaging fullback, right? So we ended up with 5 at the back. And what's, you know, so we had no width, and yeah, we just kept on inviting them onto us. G Giant, let me just address that. What G Giant asked me specifically. I didn't see anything specifically. I must add. I didn't see anything. It was frustrating because I think we can all see when we actually pressed them a little bit in that first half, we got a goal. I think that was when we got a goal. But they just look scared.
Yeah. I think that's lack of confidence, would you say? Playing at home?
Playing at home?
They're scared to play at home. They're scared to play in front of us fans.
Yeah, cowards, that's why.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's fans. I don't know.
I think cowards is a bit of a wrong word. Maybe in your view it's cowards. I just think there's so lack of confidence of playing in the stadium. And when you lose and lose and lose over an 18-month period, which we have done,
yeah, but if they don't take accountability, they're cowards because they don't take accountability. That's why they're cowards.
I still think
if they take accountability, then that's fine. And I don't really mean the younger players. I generally let them off hook a little bit. But the seasoned pros should take more accountability.
I think you're both right. Basically, I think you're both right. I think it's all of that. I think it's absolutely all of that. 100%. I mean, the atmosphere yesterday morning was great. Yesterday in the first half was great. So anyway, I just wanted to address G Giants.
Look, just to get back. Sorry, my headphones died. Sorry, I do apologise. I did, and I wasn't ignoring everyone. My headphone. All I could see was Tequila's thing flashing. Rain, Ruben is nodding his head, and I couldn't hear anybody. So just to go quickly back to it, and then we will welcome a few people in, and we'll get into the show because we do have some good talking points tonight. Now, hopefully, people will enjoy. So get involved in it as well. See what you think. Do you agree with us? Disagree with us? Put in your super chats if you can to help us grow. Pick up your memberships as well. Big up to Rebel. Yeah, well done. Very funny. Carry on with that malarkey, my young man, my young Kerry Cork man. You will be timed out. Right. Just to answer your question, Tequila. Look, on Tudor, Tottenham had to make a change one way or the other. If they don't make a change, then the ownership is saying they're being weak. They're not doing anything. They're not taking relegation seriously. If they do make a change and they bring in the wrong man, then they're going to get damned anyway for bringing in the wrong man for the job. You bring in Harry Redknapp as you wanted. It doesn't get off to a good start. Then the same question is going to be asked about anyone that came in. Either it be Harry Redknapp, either it be Igor Tudor, whatever. I just think they made the wrong decision at the start of the summer by appointing Thomas Frank in the first place. I think that is where the mistake was made. And I think also, I don't know if you guys agree, but I think if Tottenham acted earlier in the summer, like they did with Nuno, they acted very early with Nuno and they got rid of him. I think Tottenham's season could have been saved in a lot of ways. I do believe that, and maybe I'm wrong thinking that, but that's just my opinion. I mean, Tequila, do you think if they changed it earlier, the season could have been saved? And we wouldn't be where we are now. If they made the decision around the November time, October time, when we lost to Arsenal 4-1, and there was a lot of clamouring for him to go, do you feel Vinay and Lang have sort of they laid this out to dry sort of thing by not taking the decision they needed to take at that point?
I'm not sure, really. To be honest with you, it's like, I mean, do I think they could have saved our? When you say saved our season, you need to be a bit more. To what levels do you mean? Finish mid-table?
I mean, no, finished probably 8th, which
There's
I think we could have done.
There's, in my opinion, I said 9th, so that was an impossible task for me. So I don't.
But it's not, because this squad is good enough to finish, I think, in the Conference League place.
Is it?
I think so. I think if you had all players back fit, you had a fix, just example, you had the right. It's a 50-50, isn't it? It could be or it can't be, but I just think they do, just because I respect your opinion, but I think they didn't. But I think they might have done. I think we
did a show. We did a show and analysed the squad. All 3 of us did in December.
Yeah, it still doesn't make it's. Yeah, I know, but that's a chat. I think it's a Conference League squad. You could at the highest. We could have got there with the
most of us said that most of the players were bottom half players. There was a couple who got into the champion. We had maybe 2 of them who we thought were Champions League players. A couple got into like 6th place, and then an awful lot of them, especially with especially the squad. The majority of them are sitting in the bottom. We all put as bottom half players. So
you think if they made a decision in October and November, we'll still be in the same place we are now?
Oh, I don't know if it'll be in 16th, but I don't think we'd be any higher than like 11th or 12th. I still think that was probably where we've ended up with this squad. Yeah.
That's fair. Rain, where are you on it, bud?
I think
Tequila's got a point, but
yeah,
if you're being hypothetical, and we did get rid of him. Well, I know we did, but if we're being hypothetical, and we did get rid of him in October, November, do you think we could have been fighting for a Conference League place?
Dermot, I am going to stun you, right? Are you holding on to the sides of your chair?
Yeah, you don't care.
I don't think who the head coach is this season, and within reason, made a blind bit of difference.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think it makes a blind bit of difference. I think when you've got we have to say the medical situation at Tottenham Hotspur is absolutely extraordinary. When you look at the number of days missed through injury in the Premier League, we're not an outlier. We're on our own. We're league leaders in missed minutes through injury. We are. Man City have got nothing on us in terms of league dominance when it comes to missing minutes through injury. But putting that to one side, our squad is absolutely atrocious. The fact that we've got all of this problem down the left-hand side, and we just have repeatedly not addressed it. The fact that we've sold all our goals, for better or worse, I think, we've sold the goals, and we haven't really replaced them, right? It is just absolutely bonkers. And I think Frank was doomed. I hold no sympathy for him, because Lange and Frank confirmed that it was a little trio, him, Frank, Lange, and Vinay, who were effectively the transfer team, who made all the decisions.
Yeah.
So I've got no sympathy for him, because clearly he's an architect of his own demise, or part of it. I absolutely believe that Lange needs to go. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
And Vinay.
I don't really know about Vinay. I think there's very little that Vinay can do. I said in January I may actually judge them more for getting rid of Frank, because they had a plan and they've thrown it out the window. And
that's fair.
And I kind of do. I know that you wanted Frank out from it. I never saw Frank as the problem, and now Igor Tudor's come in, and some people were asking, has he lost the dressing room? And I'm like, crying out loud.
I'll say hold that thought, because I do have some news to bring you that it was given to us late last night. And this is the latest we've got from the club, from people we use. Right, the latest I got was the mood around Tottenham right now is very tense, worried, and increasingly toxic after that 4-1 defeat. Dressing room feeling is there is an understood to be a real frustration among the players after another defensive collapse. While the squad publicly backs Igor Tudor, privately there is a recognition that performances, particularly without the ball, are not at the required Premier League level. Several figures within the camp reportedly view the current position as near the bottom end of the table as unacceptable for a club of this size. Eternal concern growing despite public claim the club hierarchy are said to be monitoring the situation closely. The word coming out is that it is being treated as an early warning phase rather than full panic. But the next run of fixtures is now seen as critical. What's your response to that, Tequila, first, before we get into it?
I'm giggling a little bit. That's my first.
Yeah, I don't see the funny side of it, but I understand
I think it's bloody hilarious. This club is just literally a clown show. We all know it. None of us particularly like it, but I think all you can really do is just laugh at the ineptitude of everything. And of course, it would be these bunch of cowards that I think they are. Of course, they would again complain rather than look at themselves in the mirror and take an accountability for them, because they never do. That's why I can't stand this team, because they don't take accountability. I can't stand them, Dermo. I have no respect for these players. And I'm not alone. That's probably why they hate playing in front of us, because they probably feel it. They made a rod of their own bag. I'm sorry. I feel a little bit of sympathy for the younger players. I do for the younger lads, a little bit. But not for these old...
Archie Graham plays like that.
I do. And even Berg, I do for them a bit, because it is difficult at being a young man, right? But the so-called seasoned pros, I'm sorry, right? They live a life of luxury. They're pampered. We know all this, and I just think they need to take a bit of accountability. And the more that we get these kind of reports, Dermo, the more that you can just imagine what it's like in that dressing room, can't you? The fact that they're already unhappy with the manager, if those reports are to be believed, they're already questioning him after one. I didn't want him in the first place, but that doesn't matter. It's still absurd after one game against the league leaders.
I don't think in this report is saying about Tudor. I think there's a recognition that performance, particularly without the ball, I think they're questioning themselves. I think the squad themselves are questioning themselves. I don't think it is about the bit that gets me. Rain, and I will come back to you. I've got another question for you, Tequila, on the first part, but the last bit, that the club see it as an early warning phase. We're in February.
Early?
Right? We're in, nearly in March. Then we've got April and May. When do you think it becomes an alarming problem? Hang on, we might be going. When we go, do they then panic when we do go down? Is that when they're going to start panicking?
Yeah. So the
John just say very sorry, Ray. Igor Tudor said exactly the same thing in his press conference yesterday about this situation, about when is this club going to realise they're in problems. He actually said it in his press conference yesterday. He called out the players for the lack of attitude and the lack of whatever. He was angry with them. He's angry with the club. Nobody at the club's taking responsibility. So he's already called them out. So should the club be panicking now? Should it be full panic mode? You run business. You're in businesses. You tell me.
So I'm going to go back. I like to... we can speculate, we can go and actually look at what we've been told. Yeah. So let's look at what Lange was saying. After that, he is a muppet. He is a complete and utter idiot.
He is a muppet.
He's a muppet. I haven't seen his latest interview, and I need to go and look at it. But from everything the little snippets that I've heard, this guy has not got a freaking clue Yeah, he's completely clueless. He's one of these people who clearly has no self-awareness whatsoever. He's living in his little bubble, and he can't listen to. He mustn't be listening or looking at anything outside that bubble, because the post-January transfer window interview, where he was talking about, we didn't. Who could have thought that we had 10 injuries and that we'd come out, out of the January window with 10 injuries, and was it 7 injuries? He said, and it was 10 injuries. And we need to follow a youth-centric, a youth-centric model like other teams. I just listened to it, I'm thinking, mate, you have not got a clue about football. You do not understand football whatsoever. You think you can swan through and everything will work. And you know what, mate? You are that's not the way that football works.
Yeah,
the way that football
exactly.
works is if you don't stand up and take account, like Tequila says, take accountability and move forwards and be positive, then football will go and kick you in the sack. Right?
He's already kicked us in the balls. I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And
they grabbed hold of it, and we're squealing like a piggy.
Yeah, you asked me. Yeah, absolutely. You asked me a question when the time to panic was January. That's the time to panic. The time to panic was not that. Whoever decided that we shouldn't bother going in for Lookman, honestly, they need to never work in football again, because that single error, right, could be the mistake of the final, the straw that broke the camel's back. That could be that single error, because David made a really good point in the in chat. It's well up. It's like half an hour ago or something. I have no idea where. No, you're not going to find it. I can explain it to you. Why did we let them? Why did we let them push up on us? They were pushing so high that their midfielders were like attackers, and their defenders were like midfielders. And the reason is that it's very simple. It's very, very simple. We had no legs. We had no width. Yeah, exactly, DJ. He was cheap. He wanted to come back to the Premier League. Everybody knew he wanted to come back to the Premier League. He wanted to prove a point. We had no legs. We had no width. And so we just surrendered the midfield, the sort of the width of the midfield and up front, because I've seen a lot of people going on about Moani. I don't think he's very good. I think yes, he scored a cracking goal, but he doesn't run. He ambles. And he barely ever touches the ball, and that's because he doesn't get in positions to kick. So we were completely toothless. And what we desperately need is what we had at the start of the season, which is a player like Kudus, who you can put the ball to, it sticks to them, and they can run through it. Ideally, you need 2 or 3 of them, right? Not ideally. You do need 2 or 3 of them. Otherwise, you end up where we were at the beginning of the season, where you've got one and they get triple marked.
Yeah.
But why we didn't get Lookman to play on that left-hand side? Yeah, he's had an absolute barnstorming start to his Atletico Madrid career, by the way. He's been absolutely fantastic. It just beggars belief. And it wasn't just a left winger we needed. We needed a left back. Tudor hasn't played Sousa, and I'm just not convinced.
We picked him in our predicted lineup, didn't we? We did, but we thought it made sense. Put Sousa on the left. You put Spence on the right. He's more comfortable on the right. Then you got 2 wing backs that are more comfortable in their positions. Yes, you haven't got a Danso, but he's back for the Fulham game. I want to pick on something you said, and it was about not buying players. Tequila in January, there was a lot of people saying that we shouldn't buy for Thomas Frank.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah. Do you think now, looking back, that was a mistake? That even if you're going to sack him, you buy players that fit the club's philosophy, not a manager's philosophy. You buy for the club's philosophy, which I don't think the club know what their philosophy is, to be fair. But do you think by not buying players, as Rain said, that was the final straw that broke the commer's back?
No, because you could have got them on loan. You didn't have to buy them.
Well, get players in, whatever.
Then
Yeah,
that's fine.
exactly.
Yeah, and for the record, I never said we shouldn't get players in. I just didn't want to spend money
No.
because in my opinion,
that's what I was getting at.
I was 100% sure that Frank wouldn't be manager next season. I didn't know they were going to sack him 20 days later, but I was 100% sure that he wasn't going to be a manager next season. So I was trying to look ahead for next summer for what is going to have to be their biggest and only chance I think this Enix group's going to get. Whatever decision they make in the summer, assuming we stay up, of course, they are going to 100% live or die by that one.
I mean, to be fair, you're the ones who are saying we are going to stay up. We're not getting relegated. To be fair, you are saying that. And where I'm a little bit dubious, I think a lot of fans are a little bit thinking, hang on, you're quite determined, aren't you?
I said originally a couple of games ago, I thought it was maybe 1 out of 6. So I'm looking at it that it's a very small chance. Now I think it's 1 out of 4. So
has your mind changed on that then?
Just as other teams have picked up points, it's not really based on the result last night, because I fully expected us to get twonked. I am a little bit demotivated by the choice of manager. I think that was not the right, in my opinion, that was not the right choice. So that has added to me being more fearful. So it's just been a couple of games down the line. I don't think we've made the right manager choice. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't think it was a very smart decision for bringing Tudor. I wouldn't have done it. So that's added to there being more games that have happened. Now I look at the games we've got left. I still think we can easily get the 3 wins we need. Maybe I shouldn't use the word easily, but I think we can get the 3 games we need. And I think it's between 1 out of 4. I think there's 4 teams for one space. So I can't sit here and say, yeah, we're going to get relegated, because if I'm saying it's 1 out of 4, then that's 75% chance we stay up, which isn't. That's why I'm not in panic mode yet. In a couple of games' time, and I think it's 1 out of 2, then come back to me. if I think it's between us and Forest.
Fulham's a big game, isn't it? Fulham is a massive game on Sunday. I think it's bigger than the North London derby, if I'm being honest. Well, look, we are going to get onto that at the end. Where I want to start, guys, is tonight's show. Big up to everyone. Got a lot of people watching us. Chat is absolutely heaving. If you do want to get ahead of yourselves, do put it into a super chat. It does put you up to the head of the queue. So do ask us anything. If you want to ask us a question, put it in there and divert us from what we're talking about. Do. Can I just say, I'll just very quickly, before we get into the sort of financial implications of us getting relegated. No, what? Sorry, I'll start in the mentality bit of us might get relegated. Big up Vindaloo. I knew you'd be in. You git. I knew you'd be in. What's he saying, Vindaloo? What is he saying? Vindaloo, he says, Dermo, maybe the sittings in the Vice Bureau could help. Maybe so, Vindaloo. Big up to your body. Hope you're doing well.
They're pretty good, at least where I live.
Yeah, they're very good. Me, us three, we'll go there as a channel. We'll go there every week and ask them how can we get over the next weekend. As Rain is thinking,
I'll ask them to send Spurs some food. I'll ask them to send Spurs some food stamps. They might need them.
Yeah. Look, the decision yesterday not to award Tottenham the second goal. And the same thing happened when Liverpool. When you remember when Van Dijk pushed Romero in the back, and the goal was given.
Ekatike.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't think of his name, but yeah. Do you think? Look, I heard it yesterday on Sky. I was watching it this morning, guys, and somebody said, and I think it's a good point, that the referee blew the whistle very quickly, and it didn't give time for the VAR to get involved. They cannot overturn that decision. They wouldn't overturn it. Once he's blown his whistle, it's very difficult VAR to overturn the goal the referee's final call. Now, I don't like Peter Banks as a referee. I think he's useless. I think he should be absolutely thrown out. Him and the other fellow you love, Rain. I forget his name. I keep forgetting his name. The referee, Orson. Them two should be struck off. Just a yes and no question. Tequila, very quickly, and then to you, Rain. Tequila, should the goal have stood yesterday?
Yeah, probably, but I don't like the way people are kind of like, saying, "Oh, that's the reason we lost." I'm not saying that's what you said, but I have heard it a couple of times. It might have played a little bit in impact, but let's not forget the rest of the game. I'm just saying. So to answer your question, yes, it probably should have been given, but I don't think that to say, "Oh, the ref cost us the match." I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm not on that train, really.
Okay, that's fair. Rain, look, I said yesterday, I think the game turned then. That's when the game turned in its head. I think you get to 2-2. You stop the Arsenal momentum. We get a bit of momentum ourselves. Maybe Arsenal do still end up winning the game, but I think it changes the complex of the match. Do you feel when that goal was disallowed at 2-1, do you think that's when the belief went from the players? And do you think the goal should have stood yesterday?
So the first question, do I think that's when the belief went? No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not at all. I think I think they knew that they were second best well before then, to be honest. Do I think the goal should have stood? Yes. I've said this before. I've been watching quite a lot of Championship football, not in preparation, I might add, but just purely because
you're watching a lot more next year, right?
We've got no VAR in the Championship.
And you know what? I really enjoy it. There's so much less diving. There is so much less diving. And Arsenal, why the referee was giving the decisions he was giving, I just don't understand. And like the one before where Mawani and Gabriel were running side by side.
He should have been booked for that.
And I'm right behind it, right? I'm right behind the goal, so I'm looking at it, and Mawani's sort of right behind him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mawani's on his left, and the ball's on his right. Yeah. And Gabriel, I'm looking at him, and the referee's right behind both of them. And Gabriel literally turns, looks over his shoulder, sees Mawani, and goes in the opposite direction of the ball. And the ref doesn't give a free kick. And absolutely should have been a yellow card. When you see things like that, I'm not even sure that I've seen a lot on X from a lot of other fans. I do think that there's I'm not saying anybody's on the take, but I do think there's some kind of
collusion.
There's something going on.
Yeah,
it's just too regular. There's too much. Right. So we talk about data.
Yeah.
Right? And usually people talk about data and they think about numbers and tables of information. But we can also think about data in terms of pictures. Yeah. So you can have a huge bank of pictures that gives you a bigger picture. Yeah. So a really good example is the Romero sending off, and very, very quickly within a week, fans from other clubs were posting, literally went, this weekend there's been 3 other incidents that were exactly the same as Romero's, exactly the same, right?
No sending offs.
And 2 of them weren't even foul. 2 of them weren't even yellow cards. Yeah. So for us, so that it definitely feels like there's something against us. But there's also so that was a really good bit of data, right? Because everybody's taking pictures now and everybody's putting it on X. So you're building up a catalogue of pictures, and there's there's people on X, you know, who are farming content, farming clicks from putting pictures up, and you know, and so they're building a catalogue. So all of a sudden they can very quickly go, wait a minute, or when Foden didn't get sent off for stepping on the back heel, I can't remember who it was, and very quickly people were like, this is exactly what Xavi did, and Xavi got sent off.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, Foden's was worse. Xavi's definitely looked like an accident. But everyone's like, oh, he has to be sent off. But people, I'm being very Tottenham centric there, but people are doing it with Arsenal. People are building up this catalogue where they're going, there's just so much where Arsenal are not getting penalised for either simulating or they're getting the free kick. And yet now that there's these banks of data, these banks of pictures, which show that the old adage, it averages out in the end, is not working out. That's not the way that it's happening.
I agree.
Not averaging out for us, and it's not averaging out for Arsenal.
I totally agree with that.
The rub of the green, they absolutely are 100%.
I totally agree with that. I mean, Tequila. I mean, look at it from a non. Any other club would be badgering the PGLMO this morning. Would be badgering them about these decisions going against us. Tottenham don't do that. Players don't even go up to the referee and complain.
I think they've given up. I think they've given up. Going and complaining to the referee because it's just so blatant.
I mean, are you worried? Has Rain got a point? Are you worried that there's some collusion? I mean, look, I've got this theory, and I'm gonna. As somebody says, you stick on your silver foil hat now. It's conspiracy time. But Tequila, are the Premier League worried that if Arsenal don't win the league and Man City win the league, then with the charges that are against Man City and the punishment, they can't punish them like they would. But if Arsenal won the league, they could punish Man City as much as they like, because it's not going to affect the product. It's not going to affect. They're not deducting the league champions off their product. They're deducting the former champions. Am I a bit out there with that theory, or is there something to it?
I haven't looked into it as much as Rain, so I can respect the fact that he's obviously looked into it more than me. But what it does feel like to me is that I reckon if you probably go to a lot of clubs, different fan bases, a lot of them are going to say the same things. But in saying that, I can remember the years of Man United's dominance and it being all over the media about how Man United always get the decisions and how everyone else doesn't. And then if it wasn't them, then it's Liverpool. They were always getting the decisions, stuff like that. So it just seems to me like that, and now it's Arsenal's turn because Arsenal are the league leaders. So I'm not saying there's no elements at all. I'm not saying that there isn't. Maybe sometimes it's also a subconscious bias as well, can also play a role. But if I'm really led to believe that there's some kind of conspiracy against Spurs, I don't actually feel that way. And if there is something bigger and there's been more collusion going on and there is proper favoritism being given to certain clubs, then we might as well just pack up shop.
Yeah.
So that means the game's rigged. That means the game is already rigged. So then there's no point playing it.
So does that make my point then? The Premier League would rather Arsenal win the league so they can punish Man City because it doesn't destroy, as we're going to get back to your comment in a minute, Vindaloo. Harmless Potato says the question is, do they harm the integrity of the competition that would keep more money from coming in? So if Man City win the league and they've got 115 charges, should have been sorted out by now, but it hasn't. And they're going to deduct them less than, say they deduct them 100 points. Then that means the team in second win the league. When they win the league. Or if Arsenal win the league, it doesn't matter how much you deduct Man City, because all it is, you're only denying them a Champions League place. And it's making you look good. So look, with the conspiracy probably out there, it probably is a bit of a conspiracy theory. Could that be in the thinking of the Premier League that they're saying to the PL, look, any fouls Arsenal got, just let it ride, let it sort itself out. I think there is. I think there's something into this. What I'm saying, I don't know. Probably agree with me in the chat. David Clark's calling me delusion. Well, that's fair enough. I'm known to be
I
delusional.
don't know. I don't know if I quite. I don't agree with you there, mate. But I'm not sure. I wouldn't call you a delusional.
You know, I'm delusional.
Yeah, but more about the score lines, not about that.
Yeah.
Look. I don't know. None of us know.
You get my point, though. You may not agree.
But all I'm saying is that we've all been fans for a long time. And all I'm saying is this: is that whoever's dominant, right, whatever period it is, we always think there's favoritism. Always.
Yeah, there is.
I
don't disagree with you. The difference now is that there's data to prove it.
Yeah.
So before it was always, fans
Eyesight.
saying it, and there's no evidence, and everybody's recollection of something is slightly different. So, was it the same incident? But the difference now is that because everybody's got a smartphone, because everybody clips stuff that comes on the telly or that they've got up on a stream, right? Because it's so much easier to capture those pictures. And the only reason I'm saying it is because people are showing evidence. They're going, look, the Romero one's classic. Last 2 weeks. It's not even just photos. It's video, right? It's like it's 15-second videos. The last 2 weeks, there's been these 4 incidents. Romero got sent off. One was a yellow, and the other 2 were just fouls. Why? And that's inconsistent, which is what none of us want. But the fact is, Spurs are on every metric, right? Spurs get punished the most so we get the most. We've got the most bookings and red cards for the per foul. We are one of the most fouled teams, right? And it's the opposite for Arsenal. So the difference is that it used to be like very colloquial. It used to feel tribal, and now people are actually looking at data, and it's not. Yeah. And it's not Tottenham fans who are saying this.
It's other fans.
It's other fans who are like content creators who are going, "This is mad. This is mad."
So in that point, before we do, I'm glad David's enjoying the show. Big up to you, David. Well done. Hope you're enjoying the show, bud. We will actually do a show in this, and we will you can bring up the evidence, and the evidence. Tequila, very quickly before we move on to our next subject, I'm talking about the mentality and other big clubs being relegated before, the likes of during the years of the Premier League. Do you feel that the PGMLO or the Premier League do have to look into this at the end of the season? There has to be some sort of investigation, and also, just as a side question on this point. Do you feel that some of these decisions could be linked to betting? So there might be a spreadsheet somewhere where or VAR could be linked to betting. Do you think corruption within the betting circles could influence? If you're offered money, you're offered, say, 50,000 to make that decision.
I'm just going to cut you off, mate. What you're talking about is illegal.
Okay, fair enough.
None of us can comment on that.
No, okay, fair enough. Yeah. I'm just thinking somebody put it in the chat. And I was wondering.
I know what you're saying, but we can't comment on that.
Yeah. No, okay, fair enough. I don't get myself liable by the Premier League.
We can talk about rubber the green. We can talk about favouritism.
Yeah.
We can talk about people taking money.
Yeah. And maybe I should put allegedly. Yeah, maybe so. But to my point, do you think there has to be an investigation, Tequila, at the end of the season, how the referees, VAR is used? No. And you don't think so?
Well, Rain's right what he says. It's allegedly, that's the word we can use. I don't think any of us are naive enough to think that these things can't happen. We all live in the world. We all know that this stuff can happen. But like I say, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go?
And what can you prove?
I mean, you talk about gambling influence and stuff like that. Okay, so then every time there's a yellow card, then is that going to influence? Every time there's a red card, every time there's a corner, That's another thing that's bet on. How many corners? Yeah, this is what I mean. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? To what levels? That's what worries me, Jeremy.
Yeah. Apparently, I missed David Clark's chat about a player dying on the pitch. Can you put it? There's somebody in the chat there, David. I can't see every comment, so maybe don't know if you can look for that, Tequila. Mentality of the team of Tottenham. Big clubs in the past, like Leeds United, Newcastle, Aston Villa, have gone down. West Ham went down with a big squad, with a good squad. Are Tottenham thinking they're too big to go down? If they went down, I'm using if. Do Tottenham have the mentality? Do you think to fight in this?
It would be one of the biggest clubs to ever get relegated, especially in a modern era. I mean, I think the only one that probably comes close to it would be Newcastle. People might say Villa, but I think when Villa got relegated, it was kind of like it was a much slower fall from grace. Whereas us, we were fifth 2 seasons ago, and then 2 seasons later we're relegated. That's very far. That's a very fast in footballing terms. That's a very fast jump down. So that would be very quick. Like I say, the only one I can think comes close when it comes to club size is probably Newcastle. It's the closest I can think of. So if Newcastle set a precedence, then if Newcastle can go down, do I think Spurs can? Well, yeah. But it would be. I mean, we would be probably one of the biggest clubs ever in the modern era, at least, to actually get relegated. Maybe even the biggest. I don't know how. It depends if you want to say if we're bigger than Villa and Newcastle, because those are the two that come. West Ham, with all due respect, I think they are smaller, right? But Villa and Newcastle, I think that's a much tougher subject regarding when they got relegated. You tell me, guys, and in the chat, if Spurs goes down, is that the biggest club in the modern era to get relegated, or is it Newcastle? I think it might be Newcastle, or it's close in my head. I don't know.
Look, just very quickly, I want to bring up David's point here. David said Yusuf, is it
Yusuf
Diouf passed away yesterday playing in the Senegal second division game. He was 25. Yeah, condolences to the family from everyone here. Definitely. I didn't see it, David. There's so many in the chat. That's why I asked you to put it. And again, I definitely would bring it up. You know that. Guys, it's shocking, isn't it? 25 years of age.
Yeah.
It's no age at all. No age at all. Yeah, definitely thoughts with his family at this sad time. Jesus, that's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really was. It really is. It makes you grateful, doesn't it? It makes you think. But big up, David. Thank you for letting us know. Wow. That does put everything into perspective, doesn't it? Just a little bit. To your point, Tequila, about Villa going down on Newcastle back in 74, 70, trying to work this out. 74, 75, 75, 76. 2 years, I don't know if you mentioned it, but 2 years before then, they were the 2 years before we went down. And there's a lot of parallels I think you can use from back then to now. How the club has sort of gone down.
I did say modern era though, don't I? So I am talking about last 20, the 2000s.
Yeah, but I'm also just making the point. The last time Spurs were in this sort of really dire over an 18-month period was back in the 70s when we did go down in 76, 77. If you look at the clubs recently, I think West Ham for me is the one that shocked me. They went down with the squad they had. Newcastle, I think Newcastle were a little bit of a lost cause because they had Alan Shearer as manager. They're gone by then, I think, and even Michael Owen at that time, I think he was injured quite a lot.
I meant more club size. I think I meant more club size than the actual ability of the players.
Yeah,
in my head, that's what I'm thinking of.
I just think Newcastle, Leeds United for me was the big one for me because they were fighting Champions League, weren't they, when they got relegated?
It's not a bad shout from David O'Leary, and then they went down like a stone, didn't they? Yeah.
Did they go down to League 2 at one point?
I don't think they went that far down, but
League 1. Can't remember how far.
No, I think they only went to the Championship. I don't think they went further down than that.
Yeah. So if we did get to the Championship, guys, and start with you, Rain, then I go to you, Tequila. Can we get up first time round? If we did, And how does that impact us then financially with sponsors, with season tickets, how the price they are, with some football money as well? I know you get the parachute payments, but would Tottenham go straight back up?
I don't think you can answer that. I don't think you can answer that question. What would be the financial impact? The financial impact on Tottenham would be absolutely massive. Absolutely, it would almost be bigger than for any other club that it's happened to. I mean, we know our wage bill isn't high compared to our revenue, but our revenue is huge, and our revenue is going to take we've got our shirt sponsor coming up. We've got various other sponsorships coming up. We've already been knocked out of. It's widely known that we've been knocked out of the Big Six Premium for sponsorships. So we're now in the bargain basement. Isn't there something to do with betting as well this season coming up?
Yeah.
They're moving to shirts only.
Yeah, it's going to affect the prices of everything else, they reckon.
Because I mean, I don't. It's got to be like at least a third of clubs have got betting sponsors, or maybe a quarter. I don't know. But you know, obviously, betting sponsorship's been. Yeah, I'm literally watching two teams on TV now, and one of them's got a betting sponsor. So
because they pay over the odds. Apparently, they pay like 33% or something more. I think
that's because they print money. So we're coming to. We've got sponsorships which need to be renewed. Sponsorships which we had a good deal for before, like especially with AIA, because we were getting a Sunny premium with them as well, right?
They're now leaving now, aren't they? They're going to decide. They're going to training sponsorship.
There's rumours they're not even going to do that.
Yeah.
There's rumours that AIA are just going to cut their side. So
am I right? I just want to get this in my head. Am I right that Spurs have a £900 million debt?
No,
that's including the stadium, how that was financed.
Yeah, so it's about, I think it's about 800 million.
Right.
The mortgage, basically, it's basically a mortgage on the stadium. And
thanks, Daniel.
I do hear people talking about that, and it makes me laugh. They're like the people who don't really know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
they've kind of heard stuff and they haven't heard enough. We've got low interest rates on that was arranged back in 2010s, and when rates were absolutely rock bottom, so that's I don't know when that's up. I want to know when that's up.
So when you're looking at that, then let me ask
you.
Wait,
because I do just want to just because I'm gonna type. I'm gonna search whilst I talk, because people here we've got low interest rate and they think, oh, that must be good. But do you know what Levy's been doing? We've been on an interest only mortgage. so he's just been paying off the interest. So as soon as that drops, if anybody's ever been on an interest only mortgage, right? Which most people don't. Most people go on capital repayment. But if you've ever been on interest only mortgage, and I had one in the 2000s, and it was dirt cheap. The financing on my mortgage was nothing. And then eventually interest rates went up, and I had to go on a fixed rate because I was on a really good deal, and even with a variable rate, I was paying almost no interest, paying nothing for my mortgage. And then interest rates went up, and it doesn't take very much for the interest rates to go up. All of a sudden, your payments to rocket. So what Daniel Levy's done is we've got this big mortgage, and when we've been getting in the most amount of money, right? So we've been getting in all this money for Champions League, for all of these sponsorships that we've had, and they've just been pocketing the cash. They've just been putting the cash in, in whatever Tottenham Hotspur legal entities they've got. They're just putting it. They're just, they're putting it in the bank, or they're investing it in property, it is a bit of a cash cow, because at some point it's going to have to be refinanced, and then you're not going to be on 2% interest. You're going to be on
you're going to be on a higher interest rate than what you want, a lot higher.
More. So
of course your repayments on that are going to be a lot higher as well, aren't they? On that, and you're going to have to pay back more because you're not on that low rate. I mean, look, can you see any scenario, Tequila, that this squad can get itself out? Who are the players in this squad do you think are going to fight to get us out of this problem?
Well, that's a $60 million question, isn't it? I don't think there's that many.
Is there any player you think?
I think Paulini's got doesn't mind a scrap. I think Romero, despite what some people might think, I think he's up for it, at least a scrap anyway. Even though he probably thinks that we're too good. He is the kind of player who I do feel probably would believe that we are too good to go down. But I think he'd take the fight. I think Van der Ven will take the fight. I don't think Jed Spence would. I don't think Vicario wants it either. Archie Gray, he's still trying to figure out what position he plays in, let alone if he can handle relegation. Bissouma, my feelings on Bissouma. He shouldn't be playing for the club. Yeah. I don't think Sarr works hard. He's a good athlete, but I don't see that much fight in him. I don't think Richarlison has it either, Dermo. I've given you maybe 3 players in our starting 11 anyway. I can think of 3 players, maybe 4. Yeah, maybe Solanke, because Solanke, I don't know. Maybe it's because Solanke spent a lot of time, obviously, in in smaller clubs. Maybe he would not feel it's beneath him. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah. Yeah, it probably is. Just a question. Is it true that Tottenham Hotspur Football Club structured on a series of bridging loans? Now, David Clark did put in, said the loan doesn't have to be paid off until 2051. But we've got, where is it again? We've got Paul. Big up to you, Paul. He says, question, is it true that THFC structured a series of bridging loans? If you can very quickly sort of explain just how Tottenham secured that range. This is more your area.
I don't have some of the details. I'm just looking at it now.
This is how Daniel Levy does the loans, by the way, when he's in with the bank manager trying to get loans for the stadium. Was it you that took them out, Tequila? Were you in with them that day?
So the 2050 is the full repayment of all of the loans, but there's a lot of maturity that's coming up. So we needed to start. We needed to start paying back some of the debt in 2022. We don't get the accounts. So we have no idea what they've done or what.
Will they be out in the next financial year when the accounts are sent out by the club? Would there be something within them accounts to say how much we have paid back the last financial year?
No, you'd have to be I can't remember what they called, like an investigative accountant.
Yeah.
To go and really sort of drill into it. Connor Levynomics probably digs into it. He's a lot more into that. I'm a lot more into. I'm not. I know about this because I work in that area, but it's not my area of expertise. A forensic accountant. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
But the point is that if we go down financially, we are screwed because where all of these sponsorships are up. We're currently on what 2 to 3 million a game in terms of receipts. That's going to absolutely bottom out. That's going to be, I would be surprised if that's 1 million a game.
You'd be able to buy a ticket on match day then down there for down there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way we're getting 60,000 people in the stadium, and we've seen them this season. Again, the incompetence. I can't remember who said it. Somebody said incompetence has no bias. That's a great saying. I'm gonna pocket that. That's going to be one of my little sayings. I can't remember who said that. But this board had no idea what the impact of Sonny no longer being at the club was going to be on tickets. They clearly had. They brought out all these draconian measures and they've rolled them all back because no fans were going. My Newcastle ticket wasn't even registered for sale because apparently Ticket Exchange, which is what the season ticket resale is, doesn't go up, isn't advertised, isn't put on the site until they sell all the general sale tickets. And for Newcastle, they didn't even sell those. So there was thousands and there was tens of thousands of us, 10, 15,000 season ticket holders who couldn't go and normally resell, and our tickets weren't even listed. Which is why the attendance was advertised as 59,000. It wasn't 59,000. It was 45. It's just that 15,000 people couldn't sell their tickets. So it was still registered. They were still registered as a ticket sale. So gate receipts are going to go through the floor. When gate receipts go through the floor, match day sales
How much?
go through the floor. You're not going to get. So you're not going to get covers. You're not going to get people visiting the shop. You're not going to get any of these lucrative deals that we get where we go around. The events that we have at the stadium, they don't bring in that much money compared. When you're talking about £3 million a game, they don't bring in anywhere near enough to form any kind of compensation on it. And then the question gets into like the big question, which is what Tequila. I think the biggest question is what Tequila was talking about, which is who is left? Who is left at the club? And considering in the last 7 months they've managed to sign 3 plus Tell and 2 loans. 4 plus Tell, if you include Sousa, and 2 loans. I mean, is anybody at the club ready to do the type of Tequila? Do you think anybody at the club is ready to do the type of wheeling dealing? They need to get Harry in. They need to get Harry back with his car door.
I think Gallagher. I think surprisingly enough, maybe it's only because he's just joined. I think he would be willing to stick around. I can't tell you exactly why. I think he would. I think the keeper go. Most people probably wouldn't be sad to see the keeper go. I mean, this is another question you got to ask yourself. I mean, we moan about most of these players, so are we going to be that heartbroken about most of them going?
Well, that answers the question just very quickly. Release clauses. Who's going to pay for them? Are we going to want top dollar for these players then, Tequila?
It depends.
If we're going to sell these players.
Well, if you're going to sell, Van der Ven is the first one at the door because we know that he's going to be. We're going to lose him anyway. It's just whether or not it's this summer or not, right? And if we get relegated, of course it's going to be this summer, and it'll be to one of the big boys. If not a Liverpool or something like that, then it'll go abroad to one of the big boys. That's probably going to happen anyway. It's just this would just expedite it if we get relegated. Romero won't stick around, so you can say goodbye to our 2 centre halves. I'm not sure Danzo will want it either. Danzo might think to himself, "Oh, I've proved that I'm actually not that bad. I don't want to play in the Championship." So we'll be left with somebody like Dragerson. I can see Dragerson starting first next. You think Dragerson? He'll finally get to play. He wants to play every week. So
I think it's more like. Do you know what? There's a show in this. I think we should just go down the list, and we should because we could talk about this for 2 hours. I think it's more likely that Danzo will stay than Dragosin.
Think
I agree because I tell you, Dragonson's agent will want him out there as quickly as to make more money off him. Danso's got more loyalty in him than Dragonson has. I think there is a show in this. Look, the last bit of the show, guys, and I'm really enjoying this. We covered a lot of topics actually, and I've enjoyed that. It's been a very good. I hope people have enjoyed it. Because I feel we could quite be doom and gloom, but I think we're trying to find positives in all the negatives, aren't we? In our way, we're trying to find. So why not go through? It's the last fixtures with the remaining fixtures we do have.
I've got them
Forget the Champions League because we know we. Yeah, okay. Quick question before to bring up the Premier League fixtures. Tequila Champions League. How far do we get?
I think we'll get through the next round. Because we'll have
quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think we'll go out in the quarters.
Okay. Rain?
Yeah.
We're going to win it. Right. Okay.
I love you so much, man.
We're going to win it. We're going to win it and get relegated.
You're my hero.
I'm glad I'm somebody, so I don't think I'm a lot of people's at the moment. But, Tequila's just fell off his chair, I think. Are you scrambling back to your seat at the moment?
What? And Igor's gonna win the Champions League, is he, Dermo? Oh, mate,
Yeah.
Igor's
I
gonna
heard
win
the
it.
thump. Was that you falling off your chair in disbelief?
Yeah.
I heard him go. Yeah, I knew that would make it. No, I think we'll get to the semis. I do. I think we might get a good round of 16. I think we're in the part of the draw where it might be a bit easier. I think it might give us a tough semi-final, but we'll get there. Right. To end the show, guys, we are going to go for the fixtures. So, March, we've got Fulham away, Palace at home, which I'm going to, Liverpool away, and Forest at home. Let's move Liverpool out of the way for a minute because 9 times out of 10, last time we won up at
No point going to the game. We might as well just let them win and just spare ourselves the journey up there and everything.
Last time we won at Anfield, Moses was a baby. Jesus was selling hooky deeds around the corner. Right, Fulham away. Score prediction, Tequila.
2-2.
So we'll get a point. Rain?
I think we'll lose that.
Yeah, score.
3-1.
I have a funny feeling we might. I don't want to go. I want to be.
I'm gonna get my pad out. I'm gonna keep a tally.
Yeah, keep it Howardys, actually. I want to be normal about this. I don't want to be delusional. I don't want to be sort of we're going to win every game. I'm going for. Do you know what? As much as I want to win, I think we might lose. I think I'm going for a 2-1 defeat. I don't want to, but I think we will. It's something about Fulham that worries me a little bit. Right. Palace at home.
You said defeat?
Yeah, 2-1 defeat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Palace at home, the game I'm going to. Be kind to me, Tequila. I am going to it.
We can't beat anyone at home. So 2-0 to Palace.
That's the score last season when we played there. Was that 2-0 they beat us last season at the Lane?
I can't remember what the score was. But
Were you there that day, by the way? Did you go to that game?
The Palace game. Yes, I think I did. I was supposed to be with Dave.
Where I was sitting, me and Dave and Philip Brady were sitting right behind the goal.
In the south stand or the north stand?
No, north stand.
Oh, so you were right by me.
See, I didn't know you then. I probably saw you there.
Don't know.
Me and Dave were the one trying to get everyone singing, and nobody bothered.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going for a 3-0 Spurs win. I think we're going to whoop them.
There's big rumours that Frank will be in at Palace by then.
Oh, Jesus.
So I think we're getting 0 points. Right.
Okay. Liverpool away. Lad. Right. Okay. In the chat. Get involved in the chat as well. We'd love you to get involved. So Liverpool at home. Tequila.
3-0 Liverpool.
Rain?
Like 4-5-0.
I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Okay. It's a picture building here.
Yeah, there is a picture building here.
Yeah.
And then I will find our points, and then we'll tally up and see where each of us do finish in the league. Forest at home. This is a 6-pointer for me. Tequila?
I think we'll get a narrow win, 1-0.
I think we might have some players back.
Mm.
And I think we might get a win.
Yeah, so I'm going for a nervy 1-0 win.
1-0 win. Yeah.
Right. So then we're going to April. Holy moly. 3 games in April. Sunderland away, Brighton at home, Wolves away. Tequila, Sunderland away.
I think we'll lose 2-0.
Rain?
Yeah, loss.
I'm going for a draw, 1-1. Brighton at home, Tequila.
It's a loss, 1-0 to Brighton.
Rain?
Draw. 1-1.
I'm going for a 2-1 Brighton win.
What? Okay, it's interesting. It's out of left field.
Tequila, Wolves away. We know you love a bit of Wolves.
I think it'll be a narrow win. I think maybe 2-1 to us, just about.
I'm going for a draw, 1-1.
I'll go for a draw.
Then we've got May, the
That
last
was a
game.
win. That was a win, Tequila.
Yes, surprisingly.
That is
Now, we've got Villa away, Leeds at home, Chelsea away, Everton at home, last game of the season. Villa away, Tequila.
Loss, 3-0 to Villa.
Yeah, I'm going to loss.
Rain?
Yeah, 2-0, 2-1.
I'm going for 2-1 Villa.
Okay.
Leeds at home, Tequila.
I think that'll be a draw, 2-2.
Rain?
I agree with the draw. I think that could be 3-4. I think both teams will be absolutely going for it.
I'm going for a Spurs win. I'm going for a 3-0 win.
Okay, 3-0. Okay.
Yeah. Now we are playing Chelsea away. We don't win the way there either. So, Tequila.
Probably like another. 2-0 to Chelsea.
Yeah, I'll go 2-0, 2-1. Something like that.
I'm going for a draw.
Draw. Okay.
Then last game of the season, a home to Everton.
I think that'd be 1-1 draw.
I'm going for a 2-1 win. Right.
Wait a minute. The important one hasn't been said yet.
What?
I think that will be a draw.
Okay.
So Dermot,
Right.
let me just sum this up for chat. We could have chucked this in a. Let me just sum this up for chat. So of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games left. Is that right?
Yeah.
11 games left. Dermot thinks we're going to lose 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I'm confident on that. We're not going down. We're staying up.
Whereas, so 11. So Dermot, 11, 3 losses, right? Whereas Rain has got of the 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6. 6 losses and a hell of a lot more draws than you.
Right. So we've got 29 points at the moment. So with my predictions, where does that leave us point-wise?
15. That's mad.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're 16th. So with my points, where does that leave me?
12, 15. So you've got 16 points.
Yeah.
Well, we're clear. We're absolutely safe.
Yeah.
Because effectively, 40 points is the marker. Man United scored.
Yeah.
40 points is the marker, although might get away with, I think, 36. You might get away with
I think 35 might be the safety point this year.
maybe.
30, around 35. So how many points does Tequila get for his last games?
So 1, 4, 7, 8, 9. So Tequila's got us on 38.
So that's safe. So
It's about.
Oh, United have scored.
Yeah, I just said that. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 7.
Yeah. Is that made us safe as well?
I was on a show. I was on a show with Sean last week, and we did something similar, and people were absolutely flabbergasted by how pessimistic I am. I'm like, I don't think I am.
Yeah, come on. Are you getting this relegated or not, Rain?
So I've got us on 36.
Okay, you've got a safe as well. Good.
Skin of our teeth.
Apparently, Alex thinks we're way too optimistic.
Well,
Which one of us? Which one of us?
Probably me.
I
defeats.
I don't disagree, Alex.
I love it.
There's quite a few there where it's like, I'm saying a draw, but
It's a lot of games there that it's like that, isn't it? It can go one way or the other. The problem is, if you look at the games West Ham have left and you look at the games that Nottingham Forest have left, we have the easiest running.
Define easy.
Well, we
can't.
only have to play Liverpool and Chelsea.
And
If
Forest.
you look at and Forest. Forest is the
And
one
Villa.
which could.
And Villa.
Oh, Villa are nothing. You watch Peaky Blinders, they're nothing.
What? Villa are nothing.
Villa are nothing. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I just can't wait for the Peaky Blinders film to come out in March.
Villa are technically in the title race, mate.
I know. Technically, they like to think they're in the title race, but
Well,
they're
they
not.
are. They're 10 points off Arsenal, and they've got a game in hand. They're 10 points off Arsenal with a game in hand. So let's say that's 7 points off Arsenal, and they're only 5 points behind City.
Yeah, but look, I've enjoyed tonight. We've had a good discussion, I think, about Tottenham and where we're in, and I hope people have enjoyed it. Tequila, have you enjoyed? Do you think we've done it the right way? I think we have. We've been quite honest about our opinions, haven't we? Really.
I think we've covered a wide range of subjects. We try not to be too negative. Well, it is hard to get positive about things.
It is
now,
hard.
to be honest.
It is.
But I don't think we've been I don't think any of us actually think we're going to get, based on those scores, Reigns are closest, but even 36 might just about be enough. So maybe all of us are saying we still don't think we'll be relegated.
But if we did go to the Championship, don't worry, guys. We'll still be continuing with the channel. In the Championship, it will be here we go. I'm looking forward to Wrexham away on a Tuesday evening. That'd be good. Can you imagine Porro playing Wrexham?
You think Porro's going to be? You think Sir Porro is playing in the Championship? Do you, Demo? That'll be interesting.
Yeah. We've got somebody here. Noma is 2 wins in 18, no wins in 2026. Probably more injuries to come now in this club. I like this. Can't score goals, but let them in. We're going. He's optimistic.
Yeah, but it's fact.
It's true. Right? It is fact. It is true. It is so true. And then Sonny said 7 points is harsh, mate. Oh, bless you, Sonny.
What did you have, Sonny? Sonny, what did you have? Sonny, you were like, what was your? Did you have us beating? I predicted 15 points. Dude, I love you, guy. You're right up there in my estimation with Dermot now. You're right.
I tell you what, we do have a good community in here. I have to say, we really do. Don't believe in this manager. I expect us to lose, says Alex. Our next 2 games, people calling for Tudor's job. Could we? And I'm going to put it out here. Could we? Seriously, I know you're giggling. I can hear you giggling. Could we be doing a breaking news story that we've sacked the interim, looking for another interim?
Well, Forest had 4 managers, so we trying to catch. Wasn't it Watford a couple of years ago? So we're trying to catch up with them, are we now?
So let's put this into perspective, right? So the next 3 games, I think we're losing all 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
We then got Forest. If we lost against Forest as well, and then we've got Sunderland. If he loses 5 games, yeah. So if he loses the next 3, then loses against Forest at home, then loses Sunderland, then loses at Brighton at home, which I had a squeaky bum time draw. Then I think these Muppets that we've got would spin the wheel, and I reckon Tequila would get his wish, and he'd get somebody like Harry Redknapp. I might get my wish, and I get Tim Sherwood. You might get your wish and get that Irish guy. What was the name?
Robbie Keane.
What was the Irish guy? No.
Stephen Kenny is who he really.
That's the one. Stephen Kenny.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. We'll get rid of you two quite happily. There we go. Them 2 have been sacked from their job. Sorry, Tequila, I'm bringing you back in. So you mentioned that, man. It gives me. See, it's already. I look. Anyone doesn't know the story about Stephen Kenny? He was manager of the Republic of Ireland. I went to see him with Dave Harris, Philip Brady, and Ollie, and we were playing Ukraine. And firstly, whoever picked the seats, I nearly died. It was like walking up Mount Everest. I mean, whoever designed the Aviva never designed it for people like me that are not fit. I mean, it was like walking up. There was never end, guys. There was no ending to where the seats were. So I'm sitting down trying to catch my breath, not to have a heart attack. And I'm watching the game, and I said to Philip Brady, 15 minutes in, he has to go. And for 2 years, I was stuck by my gun. Stephen Kenny has to go. Lo and behold, what's he going to do when he leaves the Ireland job? He joins the Ireland team I support, St. Pat's, and now he's our manager. I can't wait for him to go now. He's following me around like a bad penny. Sean Dyche, get him in for the last 6 matches. There's your man. That will get us out of trouble. Big up to Jerome with the super chat as well. Big up to you, Jerome, with $5 super chat. Thank you so much. And he says, where we are right now is not due to bad luck, but it's man-made. Poor planning, appointment, and recruitment. I think he's spot on. You look at the recruitment over the last, 10 years has been woeful. And I think we will do a show on this, Jerome, and maybe in the summer. We might, or maybe in the international break, we may do a show on this where we do look over Tottenham's recruitment over the last 5 years and where we have failed and where we have bought wisely. But for me, Vinay and Lang have to go, and they have to go now. No question about it. But thank you.
Is this Jerome who
from the Irish Hotspur? Yeah. Big up to you, Jerome.
Jerome. It may well have been this opinion that I was, being very, very clear-headed about in the summer that caused somebody to tell me that I was talking bollocks. And I stand by what I said, and it's very nice to see that other people are. It's awful that it's true, but it's good to see that people are realizing what I was saying is true.
Anyway, let's move on. Jerome, thank you. To kill anything you want to say to Jerome after that? I don't know if he's sending us in another now, but do you want to say anything to him? Maybe his last super chat ever.
Could be here. Thanks for the support, Prof. That's
what it wasn't Jerome. It wasn't Jerome who said that.
Put it into the private chat. Put it in private chat. I know you think, but just put it in the private chat.
I don't want to say who it was. I don't want to say who it was.
I think I know who you're on about.
But Jerome,
I think I know what you're on about.
Jerome knows who it was.
Yeah. Yeah, well, at least it wasn't you like me having an argument about protesting on the first day of the season. No, we're not protesting. Yeah, we will. No, we won't. Blah, 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 blah. But big up, Jerome. Thank you so much. I still stand by that too, what I said as well. We shouldn't protest. Big up, Billy, if you're watching. Big up to you guys. Tequila, where can people very quickly, sorry, it just came into my head. Last thing. Yes or no? Should there be a protest at the next home game, Tequila?
Yes.
Rain? It have to be a Saturday game, not a Thursday night game.
Yeah, no, but, night games isn't going to happen. Yeah. I think we should be protesting all the time now.
Okay, right. Big up the Sonny says, I love hearing the passion and the knowledge the older guys have like us yourselves. I ain't no spring chicken, LOL, but thanks for your show, man. THFC got massive support around the world. Thank you so much. Do you want to say anything to Sonny? Tequilas, you as the baby of the group.
Baby of the group, yeah, right.
Well, you are.
I wish.
Well, look, I'm nearly 50. Rain's in his 70s. He does look well for being 70, by the way. You're only 21.
I know. I know. I'm 21, 22 soon, though, so I am getting older. No,
yeah.
I appreciate it.
And as for James, we don't know how old James is. I think
he's even younger.
We got him in Frozen at the moment. We'll bring him out of Frozen this week just to give him a bit of a air going out. Yeah. Would you want to say anything to Sonny?
Appreciate the comment, although none of us are that young, unfortunately. I wish we were, but we need younger fans, don't we, Demo? Remember?
Oh, you forgot all about that.
Oh,
forgotten all about.
Yeah,
whoops.
Right. Whoops, right. Missed.
Right. So is that?
No, I want to have. No, I'm going to have one say. I was watching a channel earlier, and they said that we need more younger fans to come in the state. Now, where I do agree with them, younger fans do bring a little bit of their normal enthusiasm and their passion. But I think older fans do as well. Just very quickly on the concessions, do you think that the junior concessions and the older concessions should be really looked at, so more younger fans do come? That was the point, more younger fans into the stadium. Do you think that's needed, that a section of them should be put in a section where they do start an atmosphere? So there's more have to happen. Like what do Tottenham need to do more to get the atmosphere going? That's the point where I'm going.
I don't think they really care. They don't care about the atmosphere. Let's be clear about that. They don't care about the atmosphere. They put in some very draconian, they've been putting in like draconian measures, and I was talking about them.
Yeah.
So the most obvious ones are the removal of the senior concessions, the staged removal of senior concessions, which I think is an absolute. I think it's borderline criminal. I think it's. Actually, I think it might actually technically. I don't know why they haven't challenged it. They've surely looked at it, but I'm sure there's some kind of statute. There's some kind of regulation that there have to be concessions for people who are of pensionable age. I'm sure. I'm going to go and look that up in a minute. But they
you go and look that up. We'll discuss it next time.
No.
We will.
They're putting draconian measures. I'll go and look it up later. They're putting draconian measures for the junior tickets that you couldn't. Basically, if you sell a junior ticket anywhere but the family end, then it went for full sale, went for full price. And if you transferred it to somebody, then they had to pay full price. So basically, they just tried to just farm all of the juniors who aren't in the family end, in the like the family corner. It's a very, very thin slice, and they've taken that away with the proposed season ticket freeze for next season. They've taken away that restriction because they're going to need that. They need to get people. They're going to need to get people in that stadium, and it's got to the point where a mum and dad and two lads, or a mum and dad and two kids, I should say, you're looking at 350 quid. to get tickets for everybody. And that's not no. You're looking at like 550 quid if you include membership because they made it so you had to have a membership as well. You know, that's absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, it is a lot of money at the end of the day. I want to give our sponsor, Big Pop O'Connell Designs, who does all our intros, does all our backgrounds, helps me with the studios, helps me with the new way we're doing the predicted lineup and the player ratings as well. So the email for O'Connell Designs is below in the description. There will be a video coming up soon of him describing his work. But if you want to know what his work looks like, listen to our intro music, our intros, outros, whatever. Big up to O'Connell Designs. Big up to AFC UK 67. I'm a gooner. I think Spurs will survive and don't deserve to go down. Well, thank you so much, bud. A very, very normal and humble Arsenal fan. And well done yesterday, by the way. The better team won. And
it's so much better than us, Dermot.
they were. I have to say, look, North London, build up North London derby. I'm giving it all that. I'm all giving it my chest, North London forever and you South London club and all this. But no, hand on heart, I think you were the better team. Congratulations. But you still won't win the league. Tequila, do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on here, guys, and also the Play Pouch gaming channel and also No Cell Wrestling, which is a new wrestling channel. Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Do good over there. Ray, where can people find you?
There's a voice keeps on calling me on the road. That's where I'll always be.
So you're Hobo the dog then? On that bombshell, we'll see you later. We're having tomorrow off. We'll be back Wednesday with the show. You can find me on here. You can also go over to Ireland Till We Die as well, where me and Philip Brady do all things Ireland stuff. You can find me also on Dermot and Philip's Political Till We Die as well, our political arm of the brand. And also me and James have a gaming channel called Oh Boys Do Gaming Till We Die. So yes, the THFC Till We Die brand is expanded into different areas. So do catch us all on them platforms. But guys, we're out of here. It's time Tequila went to bed. It's time Rain went chasing his chicken around the sitting room. And I'm going to go and stick my head and shout, come on, you Spurs, in the cockerel we trust.